All right, so here's the difference between should and will or must or needs to. There's a difference. I think Seth Curry should be starting. That doesn't mean he has to or he needs to be. I think Seth should. I think he's better than Joe Harris. I know Joe will give you some impact on the defensive front, but so will Seth. Maybe not with the height and the size or whatever, but I mean, he jumps in the passing lanes. He's in front of his man. People just shoot over him, but I mean, man. And he might not have the assault of layup packages that Joey Buckets has on the low, but as far as pure shooting goes, I've seen enough. We've been watching this man for almost a full year now, almost a full calendar year, get nothing but buckets. This man was getting buckets on one leg. This man is getting buckets back on two legs again. And I'm talking ISO buckets. Now, he has a counterpart that hits a timely shot every now and again, but Mr. Vibes and Mr. Culture was out there getting cooked. John Wall was cooking Patty Mills. I mean, I heard the stove I heard the stove clicking and clacking. Patty Mills was getting cooked. You don't see Seth Curry get cooked like that on defense. Maybe it's because he does a good job and the team is switching around a little bit and he doesn't take it on him to be Mr. Vibes and Mr. Culture. So I have to take on the defensive assignment. He doesn't feel like he needs to do that, so he's not in the way on defense like Patty Mills is. I feel like when we were watching the end of the game, also welcome back to Nets Republic. My fault, I got carried away. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers, so tell a Nets fan to subscribe to the channel, but that's neither here nor there. What we saw towards the end of the game with Seth Curry at point, Joe Harris was out there too, but Seth was at point and we had Edmund Sumner on the bench, Sumner on the bench. We saw a different type of offense unlocked. Let me tell you who was out there. It was Seth at point, Joe Harris at the 2, Kevin Durant at the 3, Royce O'Neal at the 4, and Claxton at 5. That is a bunch of shooters and Claxton. So if they were to dare, and I mean dare, try to double Kevin Durant, you are in trouble. Pick your poison. You're going to double and leave Joe Harris open? I mean, I would. But in theory, you're not supposed to. You're going to double and leave Seth Curry open? No. You want to leave Royce O'Neal open? He's spraying it. What did he tell Kai? He said, trust him. You want to leave Royce O'Neal open for 3? I don't think so. If you want to help on any one of those, you're leaving Kevin Durant open. And if not that, you've got the Roman Claxton because the spacing is so spread out. Claxton's just getting his Bruce Brown on. You feel me? He's getting his... This is the Bruce Brown dance, by the way. He's just getting his Bruce Brown on. You don't know what to do. It's too much. And the best part about all of this is we got 2 Bruce Browns and we got 2 Jeff Greens. With Royce O'Neal, which who would have thought? I didn't see it coming. Royce O'Neal and Claxton. Claxton can't hit threes, but he roams around and gets the dunks and everyone's looking for him, and that's what we love to see. It's very reminiscent of the Jared Allen days. Not as far as the... Well, I mean, yeah, I don't think that's a hot take. I don't think that's a hot take to say Claxton is reminiscent of Jared Allen. I don't think that's that wild of a hot take. I really don't. Not at this point. Maybe a little earlier on, it's like, you can't go there. But trust me, as the captain of the Karis LeVert's Jared Allen fan club, I have to tell you, I think the role has been filled. I think Claxton's ready. I think he understands. He's not fouling people anymore. The situation has handled itself, and everything is going to be just fine. I think we have finally not replaced, but filled in that hole that is a guaranteed center position. I don't think we need to be as desperate on the search for another center. We will be just fine. It would be nice to have a backup center that's not Ben Simmons, but you know. If you want to leave Day'Ron Sharpe on the bench collecting dust, it is what it is. But to that backup center conversation, we need to have the Ben Simmons conversation. Now, they won, and I cannot believe they are winning this many games. I mean, we're, 4-1 without Kai? This is insanity, and I believe we are all in agreement that we don't need Kyrie Irving anymore, right? We all agree that. Yes, I'm wearing a shirt, but which you can't even wear a shirt anymore. You can't wear a shirt in public because people think you're on that, You feel me? People think you're on that, So you can't even wear a shirt in public anymore. So half of my wardrobe is destroyed. I just got a bunch of Kyrie jerseys I can't wear anymore, but that's not here or there. But I can wear it in the safety of my home. You hear me? You hear me? In the safety of my own home, but that's not here or there. But let's get back to Benjamin Button Simmons. Now, I bought the Ben 10 watch because we were supposed to have gags and jokes, but there's nothing fun about this. There's nothing hilarious. There's nothing comical about any of this. Ben Simmons is not a backup center. I know we're trying to make the most out of what we have, and yes, having him kind of run the second team with Patty Mills and stuff. I don't know why I'm doing the Bruce Brown dance again, but that's fine if you want to hide him. But we need to address at some point that Ben Simmons is Ben Simmons. He's getting paid all this money, and we got him as a backup center. That needs to be addressed at some point. Get him out. Him and Kyrie, get him out. We're paying them way too much money to try and hide them. Hiding Kyrie from the media and hiding Ben Simmons from basketball. Get him out. You're telling me we could be better than what we are right now? Get him out. Trade him immediately. And there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And that's 1,000% not a hot take. I know that for a fact. Now, I know when they win, I'm not supposed to be critical. I just really want to know what Ben Simmons does other than foul people. What is his purpose? What does he do? And trying to hide the problem and say, oh, we're just doing small ball 5. This is small ball 5. Go get someone who can whose actual job is that. That would be like if we got Stephen Curry and we have him as the point guard off the bench. What? And I'm not saying the skill levels are the same. I'm saying contract and the profiles. You feel me? The profiles of the players. You can't go pick up Jimmy Butler and have him be the center off the bench because small ball. That's not how that works. And I refuse to buy into this idea that Ben Simmons is just this Draymond Green that we crack the glass on. I mean, at least Draymond starts. But the problem is there's no room for him. That starting lineup, if you're going to tinker something, take Sumner out of the starting lineup, put Seth Curry up there at point guard, just see what happens. I mean, really, just see what happens. Nothing against Sumner. I think Sumner's playing great. Sumner's amazing. Who would have thought? Awesome stuff. I mess with the guy. But if you want to talk about pure shit, not that Sumner doesn't shoot, because he shoots very well, but pure, unadulterated spacing with nothing but just ball movement and all that good momentum. Just try Seth Curry at point. But that's the only room for an indent or an edit button. You know, that's our only Twitter blue of the starting lineup there. You can't edit anything else. No one else is getting moved. You saying Royce O'Neal comes off the bench now? No. Claxton don't start? Ha-ha. No. So where does he fit? Gotta have him come off the bench because he's completely useless. You gotta let him play. So we're doing this whole, he's the backup center thing. I just think that's a waste of money to let him hide on the bench. I truly, truly believe that. That is a waste of money. I mean, it works. It's cute. Well, it doesn't even work. Does it even work? Because I'm not seeing what Ben Simmons does exactly. Man's collected like 5 fouls like Sonic gets rings. Was it 4 or 5? Regardless. For only playing like 15 minutes. I mean, what is he doing? Dude scores 2 points, gets like 3 assists, and we're like, oh, well, good job, Ben. How's your back doing? How's your knee doing, Ben? Good job, Benjamin. We're just so proud of you, Ben. No, that is a waste of time. That's a waste of time. That's a waste of a max contract. You know how many amazing 3-and-D players we can get back for that? Get him out! Get him out! 1,000% I'm with that. But the game was decent. Sorry. The game was decent. The game was cool. There were some lulls in the action that was not the most entertaining. I will throw that out there. Last night's second quarter was one of the most painful things I've sat through in my entire life because it was like we could not score to save our lives. I mean, it was a back and forth affair, and we're playing amazing defense, but it reminds me of those old Chicago, older Chicago Bulls days of the D Rose era, where it was Tibbs over there, and it was like, okay, if we can't score, you're not going to score either. And when Derek would go to the bench and it was just like Kirk Heinrich and stuff out there, it was like, oh, wow, we have grounded to a standstill. And it's like, listen, until Derek gets back on the floor, if we can't score, y'all aren't scoring either. And it was just grimy and messy and a little boring, but defense isn't exactly exciting if you're really keeping it a bean, especially that half-court stuff. But we should be fine for the playoffs, though, if we make it. I do have a question, though. I do have a very serious question. Are we good? I'll ask that again next game because tonight we play the Lakers. So I'll ask that again tonight. But are we good? Are we a good team again? That's what I want to know. It's been 5 games. There's no Kyrie in sight. The team seems to be significantly better than it was. Are we a good team? Because we're almost at 500 again. We're almost 7-7. So I'm just curious, are we a good team? I'll ask again tonight. I'll give you the rest of the day to think it over, but I'll ask again. Are we good?